Welcome to the second lecture in the Innovation Lecture series. In this lecture, we will talk about why innovation is important and to whom. First, innovation is important to companies. Why is innovation important to companies? Please pause the video lecture to think about this. Companies who do not innovate become obsolete. Can you think of any examples of companies that have become obsolete because other companies replaced them through innovation? Please pause the video lecture to come up with a list of companies. If there were no such thing as competition, innovation wouldn't be necessary. But because companies constantly compete for market share and therefore come up with better technologies and products, companies that do not adapt and evolve through innovation will become obsolete. Next, let's take a look at a few examples of products or companies that have obsoleted other products or companies. The cassette replaced the vinyl records. CDs replaced the cassette. And I cannot remember the last time I purchased a CD. Music is almost all digital these days. Have you heard of Zipcar? Zipcar has definitely impacted the traditional car rental business with their new business model. Instead of booking a car and picking it up at a rental agency, you never interact with a Zipcar representative face to face. You become a member online, and when you are in need of a car, you go online and find a car in a nearby parking garage. You can rent a car for as little as an hour. Once the time is ready to pick up the car, you go to the car and unlock it using your membership card, which looks similar to a credit card. The keys of the car are inside, as well as a credit card to get gas. The rule is that you need to fill up the car when the tank is less than 1/4 full. When you are done using the car, you bring it back to its parking spot, and that's it. IKEA has obviously disrupted the traditional furniture store market. Simply put, if you are a company and you do not innovate, you will eventually become obsolete. Let's look at a bunch of obsolete technologies and see whether you can recognize any of them. You should pause the lecture video whenever you want time to make a choice. I will just go through these without saying anything. Companies that are successful innovators tend to grow faster and provide a higher return to their shareholders. Which companies do you think are the world's most innovative companies? Please pause the video lecture and write down a list of at least 3 companies that you think are very innovative. Please go to the links provided on this slide and look down the list of most innovative companies. You might be surprised that you don't recognize all companies in the top 10, or that some companies you would have expected to be in the top 10 aren't there. For your presentation, you will have to discuss one company that is on either one of these lists that you have never heard of. What do they do and why are they considered innovative? Innovation is also important for countries because it is related to value creation. Much growth in GDP comes from the use of technology to make more productive use of labor and capital. Please go to the link provided on this slide for a ranking of countries based on innovativeness. You can read the article if you wish to do so, but you will have to scroll down to results to see the actual rankings. What surprises you in this list? You can also rank based on individual criteria like R&D, manufacturing, high-tech companies, education, research personnel, or patents alone, or rank based on overall innovativeness using all the criteria together. And last but not least, innovation is important for us, the consumers. An example of an innovation that has affected consumers is the Tata Nano. In 2009, Tata Motors launched the world's cheapest car, which sold for less than $2,500. While there have certainly been some issues with the Tata Nano that have suppressed its success, It is important to understand that this is not a car that competes with other cars. Instead, it competes with this. Tata Motors focused on the 75% of the Indian population which still travels using two-wheelers and three-wheelers at a price point of about $1,500. The Nano can give these families a safe, affordable, all-weather form of transport. Innovation enables a wider range of goods and services to be delivered to people worldwide. It has made the production of food and other necessities more efficient, yielded medical treatments that improve health conditions, and enabled people to travel to and communicate with almost every part of the world. Finally, one could argue that maybe innovation isn't good for anybody at all. Innovation makes obsolete. Production technologies as well as obsolescence contribute a great deal to pollution that is harmful to the surrounding communities. Dumping, like what you can see on this picture, often takes place in poor countries. Innovation has also led to products that have caused immense humanitarian problems. This is a picture of the damage after the Hiroshima nuclear bomb. In addition, innovation has made our lives more competitive. There is increased time pressure, there is the need to multitask, and also social isolation. With that, we conclude our lecture on why innovation is important.